Now, as per reports, there is a strong possibility of a new summit between North Korean leader Kim Jong Un and US President Donald Trump. During his recent Asia tour, President Trump said he expects to meet Kim in the not-too-distant future, sparking speculation of a diplomatic reset after years of stalemate. He also noted that he would return to the region specifically to meet the North Korean Supreme Leader. Trump has praised his relationship with Kim, saying the two get along very well. Both leaders previously held historic summits in Singapore in 2018 and in Hanoi the following year, before talks broke down over North Korea's nuclear program. Okay, now joining us is Andrew Latham. He is a professor of international relations, and he joins us live from Minneapolis in the United States. Andrew, thank you very much for joining us here on the program. Of course, we spoke earlier about the scheduled US South Korean drills, which of course lined up for March. They happen every single year. Of course, this is likely to cause tension between Seoul, Washington and Pyongyang, but South Korea's spy agency has said that it is likely that this could happen after these drills. Could you tell us a little bit about the relationship which Donald Trump and Kim Jong Un have had in their previous meetings, and what both sides stand to get out of meeting one another?
Well, the theatrics of the past meetings served both parties, I think. For President Trump, it served his presentation of himself on the world stage as a leader who could make things happen, who could affect change, who was a peacemaker, all of those things. Turned out not to be the case. They became deadlocked. And of course, for President Kim, the domestic audience, in terms of legitimizing his rule, appearing again as a globally consequential leader. I don't think much has changed, to be quite honest, between 2018 and 2019 and today, because the big issue still is North Korea's nuclear arsenal and the missile delivery systems that it has that can reach now the United States, according to reports. The United States really wants, and South Korea and Japan and Australia really want a denuclearized North Korea. And North Korea sees its continued security and indeed the existence of its regime as dependent on these nuclear weapons. So we're between a rock and a hard place, as it were. I think there are ways forward on the margins, but I don't think there's going to be a breakthrough if this meeting does take place. If anything, it'll be a sort of détente. It won't be the end of the very, very Cold War between the US and North Korea.
Yes, and Andrew, what impact could it have in the region as well? Obviously, we know that North Korea and Moscow have grown ties in a huge way recently. We've sort of seen the first direct flight between Pyongyang and Moscow occur. And so how might that impact the Indo-Pacific and, of course, the wider region if Washington is to open diplomatic ties with Pyongyang?
Well, I think, yes, you're right. I mean, North Korean soldiers have died in Ukraine fighting on the side of the Russians. That relationship is tight. But when it comes to the Indo-Pacific, Russia is not a bit player, but it's not the most consequential player. China certainly is. And North Korea is in China's orbit as well. From an American perspective, and the perspective of regional countries from India all the way to Japan, Australia, obviously, Philippines, et cetera, they would like a ratcheting down of tensions, because as tensions ratchet up between China and those Western allies, the possibility of open conflict, especially in the South China Sea. But North Korea would be drawn in very, very quickly, I think. And it's in none of the allies and partners of the US, it's none of their interests. So finding a way to de-escalate, to ratchet down, to engage in some kind of détente, to make the mutually assured destruction more stable, this is not going to go away, is in everybody's best interest. And if Donald Trump, can present himself as the guy who can make that happen, that's a win for him. And if he can actually make it happen, that's a win for everyone.
Yes, indeed, Andrew. Thank you very much for that. And do stay with us as we have further updates.